Paige Spiranac isn't just eye candy apparently. She's medicine for men too, at least according to her perspective on dudes that look at her breasts whenever she puts up a picture or a video on social media. Something about science and endorphins and stuff. But the golfing model might just be onto something here. Let's take a deeper look at her breasts, not literally, and see how they could potentially save your life. Starting off with the science behind Spiranac's breasts, the golf club swinging model has been no stranger to attention. With her golf game and her stunning looks, it's no surprise that she's been the talk of golf town from the moment she stepped foot on the green. The golf-playing model is well aware of how attractive she is and knows that most of her fans follow her because of how gorgeous she is. Spiranac has on multiple occasions talked about how amazing her breasts are. Paige took to Twitter again recently to share some pretty insightful words. She talked about a German study's findings that showed that 10 minutes a day of staring at a woman's breast are more beneficial for a man's health than going to the gym. She followed up with another tweet talking about how if you want to reach your health goals for the new year, that you should follow her. This woman is truly a marketing genius, and luckily for her male fans and maybe even some female followers, the foundations of her words are from an actual theory that's based on a certain scientific level. According to the theory, our brains release endorphins when we watch something we enjoy. It's the same that happens when we pet a cute little dog. Our brain responds in a way that has a more positive impact on us. So she might be right when talking about her own puppies and how they could have a positive effect on your health. When you look at it from a psychological perspective, endorphins are very healthy for you. And if Paige wants to help men, then we're no one to stop her. Up next, Spiranac's breasts, real or fake? Paige Spiranac may have been joking a little about the theory she's spoken her tweets about, but there's nothing wrong with her assessment of the possible implications. Thousands of men every day flock to her social media accounts to just look at her stunning features and her breasts that she's so proud of. From a clinical perspective, Spiranac is truly doing some important work for the benefit of mankind, even if it generally isn't thought that way. Some people may be skeptical and ask, has science gone too far? No, it hasn't. The golfing model has spoken up about how she knows people stare and talk about her breasts though. Before she put out this tweet, Spiranac did answer some questions people had about her. Most of those questions were related to how real or fake her breasts are, and Paige was pretty unapologetic with her replies. She described how real and how spectacular they are, talking about how she's had them since the day she was born, and that she knows more than anyone else just how real they are. Paige added that if they actually were fake, she would tell people that she paid for them and that they are amazing. And for people who question her based on the changes in the size of her breasts, she talked about how they get bigger or smaller when you gain or lose weight. Makes sense to us. Spiranac even went as far as to say that she needs to do a Boobies 101 class for her fans. Sounds like a great idea actually. It could be very informative and healthy for her followers. Moving on, Spiranac's fame and controversies. From the moment the model stepped onto the green while wearing her sexy and ungolf-like outfits, Paige Spiranac has been the center of attention in the world of golf, and the year 2022 was probably one of the best for her in terms of her popularity. The golfing social media influencer had been posting much more content on her social media accounts in 2022, and successfully establishing a strong fan base by posting on many different online platforms. And the fans loved how the stunning golf-playing model put her vibrant presence on display. Her Instagram account alone has well over 3 million followers by now, as it creeps towards 4 mil. And don't even get us started about her combined online following of over 10 million people. This makes the golf beauty even more famous than Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson, two legends and beasts at the game. Spiranac is an American golfer and model, but a lot of her fans are from other countries. She secured a spot in the top 10 most searched golf players in Australia. Though with all her popularity and risque photo shoots came a lot of mixed opinions on Spiranac and her raunchy outfits especially, like how Sarah Spain from ESPN showed her disapproval when Spiranac appeared on the cover of Golf Digest in 2016. Spiranac also has received multiple death threats on her Instagram, even though she's been constantly speaking against cyberbullying. The model does cope with it all well though, as she says the threats and criticisms aren't a big deal for her anymore. Though one thing that recently happened did really affect her. Let's talk a little bit about what Spiranac went through recently. Coming up is Spiranac's recent breast cancer scare. It's no doubt that Paige Spiranac's breasts are arguably her most prized possessions. You know, with her always talking about how great they are and stuff, but she never thought that they could potentially be the cause of one of the most frightening experiences in her life. There are many reminders on television and online for women to get regular checkups so that any potential abnormality can be found early on. And a lot of Spiranac's fans were left wondering why the beautiful model has a sudden spell of inactivity on her social media around the end of 2022. Keeping all that in mind, Paige had some pretty scary news to share with her fans. Apparently, Spiranac went for her checkup, where the doctors found an unusual lump on her breasts. And after a little examination, luckily for Paige and the health of her millions of fans, the possibility of cancer was ruled out, which is really good news. What would humanity do without Spiranac there to keep everyone healthy and strong? On her Instagram stories, the golfing model apologized for not being as active on social media lately, and she talked about what happened. Spiranac even advised all her female followers to get their annual checkups done too if they hadn't done so yet. We're glad to hear Paige doesn't have cancer, and we think reminders like this are important for women's health. So ladies and gents, because cancer can affect everyone, if you haven't gotten the chance to get a checkup done in a while, please use this as a reminder. We really hope Spiranac gets some well-deserved break and rest from golf and social media for a little bit. Next up is Alpha Jugs, and why Spiranac regrets that nickname. While it's true that her attractive looks and figure are a source of great joy for Paige Spiranac and her fans both, a certain nickname that she gave them recently could come back to haunt her and even her kids in the future. In a recent Twitter feud with alpha male Nick Adams, who says women play golf too slow, Spiranac stood up against him in defense of female golfers. But while showing her resentment over his comments, the model did end up saying something that she regrets. Paige ended up giving her breast the nickname Alpha Jugs while replying to Nick's remarks. And while her fans may have loved the quick and witty comeback, the model does admit that her wit might come back to haunt her in the future. As proud as she is of her Alpha Jugs and how beneficial they are for thousands of men's well-being, she doesn't want trolls on social media making fun of the nickname. She says she doesn't want her future children asking why random men on the internet call their mother Alpha Jugs. The female golfer is well aware that her fan base is so massive because of her stunning looks and figure, but she's also passionate about women golfers, and she knows how they are victims of bigotry and are often shoved aside on the field, with Adams' tweets about slow women golfers highlighting the issue. Spiranac is always in support of them in situations like this. Hopefully her followers are mature enough to not let it get to that point though, and the nickname Alpha Jugs will be forgotten, as funny and as witty as it was. Lastly is Spiranac and her Super Bowl pick. Starting off originally with hopes of being a gymnast, Paige Spiranac is interested in more sports than just golf, and while her knee injuries and constant bullying in the gym may have halted her career as a gymnast, it didn't stop her from uploading a video where she gave her top sports picks for 2023. The golf-playing model started the video off by wishing her fans a happy new year, and then proceeded to make some big, bold predictions for 2023 sports. One of Spiranac's picks got a little more attention than the others though, and it has to do with the soon-to-happen Super Bowl, and it's not a big surprise that the Philadelphia Eagles were the beautiful model's pick for this year. The Eagles are big fan favorites and top picks for the 2003 Super Bowl, with them seemingly destined to take the Lombardi Trophy home with them this year. In the video Paige Spiranac posted on Twitter, the model was pretty confident in predicting that the Eagles would win the Super Bowl, and she talked about how she'd love a little TCU upset against Georgia in the national championship games. Though for the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts' health would mean a lot for their potential victory. Maybe someone should refer him to Paige Spiranac's Instagram account, you know, for health purposes. But a healthy Jalen would definitely assure victory for the Eagles this year, with a slight chance of him playing the New York Giants after his sprained shoulder made him sit out 2 games in a row. The team seems to transform with his exceptional pass rate, blistering touchdowns, and skillful interceptions. That's a wrap for this video. Do you agree with the theory Spiranac spoke about? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.
I've shot a 63. It was at the Farms when I was playing golf at SDSU. But in tournament play, I can go low, but I can also go high, and so there's rounds where I can go posting and doing everything I could to please everyone else, and not worry about what people have to say, because someone's always going to have something to say, and me more people who are loving and supportive and love what I do, and so I try.